Servicemen and women at HMAS Albatross took time out today to honour Lieutenant Hugh Paffard with a special memorial service. The 33-year-old helicopter pilot and his sister Jaya were killed 10 days ago when their aircraft crashed into power lines on the way to Jaya's wedding in the southwest of the state. Today, Mr Paffard's wife Wendy and his colleagues from Squadron 817 recalled his zest for life and adventure. Having flown helicopters in 3 wars, Mr Paffard was regarded as among the most experienced pilots in Australia. For the second time in a week, Integral Energy employees will walk off the job tomorrow over a pay dispute. Unions say the stoppage could result in power cuts in Sydney, the Illawarra and Blue Mountains. And strike action has shut down an important counselling service in the Shoalhaven indefinitely. 2 counsellors have walked off the job at the Adolescent and Family Counselling Service in Nowra. It helps up to 300 people a year. Anti-loitering signs have been erected throughout Port Kembla's central business district in a bid to rid the streets of crime and improve the suburb's image. If successful, the legislation will be introduced in other known hotspots.
From today, anyone found loitering in Port Kembla's central business district faces a fine of up to $550. Anti-loitering signs have been erected throughout the CBD. Police confident the move will curb the high incidence of drug-related crime in the area.
I can give instances where people come down here from Sydney or Wollongong, they catch the train to here just to hang around in front of the hotel waiting for drops of illicit drugs.
Police say they won't be targeting elderly groups who use the CBD as a social meeting place.
It's to do with the people that are actually there and what they're doing at the time.
The anti-loitering legislation will be trialled for a period of 6 months. If it proves to be successful, police will consider trialling other crime-prone areas, including Warrawong, Berkeley and Dapto. Port Kembla Chamber of Commerce hopes an image improvement will result in a boost to the suburb's economy. Local businesses and residents welcome in the move.
People are actually stating to me that they can feel free to walk up the street now. They feel a lot safer.
Stella Laurie, Win News.
The National Trust has announced it will establish an office in Wollongong. It will be based in the old courthouse at Belmore Basin, which itself is a heritage building. The region's farmers have been warned they will have to sharpen their business skills to remain viable in the new, leaner, meaner dairy industry.
Deregulation sent shockwaves through the dairy industry 8 months ago as farm gate prices for milk fell by 3 cents a litre. Making a profit is now harder than ever, so the Dairy Industry Development Company is running a series of forums across the state showing farmers how to squeeze every last cent out of their operation.
Most people I perceive want to stay in the industry. They see in the long term that it's positive and they're prepared to take the actions and make some hard decisions now so that can happen into the future. The
forum will be followed by a 4-day workshop to show farmers committed to the business how they can survive the wholesale shake-up of the industry. Grants of up to $6,000 per farm will assist in training and will be available over the next 3 years.
I think in today's increasingly competitive world, they certainly have to get smarter. And training is one way of doing that.
While consumers have been warned that milk prices could rise another 20 cents a litre, down in the dairy, farmers are battling lower returns.
Reduced milk prices are certainly not what farmers need in this day and age. Everything else is increasing in price, feed, insurance, you name it, it's all going up, but milk prices are going down.
Local farmers have welcomed Victorian moves to deregulate the industry from next year, saying that'll help create a level playing field. But by the same token, have still been warned to brace themselves for short-term pain for long-term gain. Graham French, Win News.
On the stock market, BHP was trading at $11.79, down 11 cents. AMP at $18.35 was down 25 cents. Telstra at $8.47, down 3. And the IMB at $5.40 was unchanged. Sport is next with Geoff Phillips and one of the Kirsten brothers on the move, Jeffrey.
He is merry after his big haul at the Nationals, and the Dragons get a look at Stadium Australia. Ben Kirsten's life has taken a turn after being named Most Outstanding Performer at Australian Cycling's National Track Championships. He's been called into the Olympic train-on squad and will move to Adelaide next week, joining older brother Josh.
The Kirsten brothers are seeing less and less of Wollongong, but are glad to be back for a week. Josh winning the kilometre time trial in Perth against world champion Shane Kelly.
You know, not many countries have that. They just have one guy. But the two of us can just keep pushing each other along and towards the Olympics. And, you know, the way things are going, I couldn't ask for anything better. My next goal now is really to concentrate on the World Cups, which are to qualify me for the Worlds.
Ben returns with 4 under-19 gold medals and 2 silver. He set Australian and world records in Perth, not recognised for the latter because of insufficient timing equipment.
I've wasted too many nights sleep on it now, trying to think what the hell they were trying to do over there. But, yeah, it was a bit of a shame.
Still, he's been summoned to Adelaide to train with the senior side. The Olympics now a real possibility.
It's all coming at once and I can't believe it.
The Kirstens return to Adelaide next week, Josh to trial a new altitude machine, Ben to establish schooling and life in a new city. The World Championships loom, Josh looking at Germany in October, Ben at Greece in August. Matt Russell, Winsport.
St George Illawarra players have given the Stadium Australia playing service the thumbs up before Saturday's NRL season opener. The Dragons described it as dry and firm during a training run this morning.
The Dragons had to share Stadium Australia this morning, opening night keeping everyone busy. Luckily, there's room for everyone. 110,000 people expected to pack this human hive on Saturday. It's a grand final atmosphere come early and a big thing for a boy from the remote country town of Tingha.
Coming from where I come from, there's only a crowd of maybe 200 people, but 110,000, that's just unbelievable. So, I don't know how I feel.
I really can't believe that they're going to fill the joint up. It's that big, and you know, it's just amazing. And you know, to play here is a big honour, and you know, I can't wait for Saturday night.
I'm starting to get nervous now. It's only a Tuesday and we're playing on a Saturday, and it's I'm already starting to get the jitters, so it's going to be a big experience, yeah.
The Dragons made the most of a training chance this morning, adapting as much as is possible in 2 hours. They won't return until game day to train in Wollongong Thursday and Friday. There are no changes to the squad announced last week. Meantime, the Steelers have named their First Division side, including unwanted Dragons Luke Patton, Rod Wishart, Andrew Hart, Terry Lamey and Chris Likevole. They play the Eels at Parramatta on Friday night, expectations high after impressive trials. Matt Russell, Winsport.
The underdogs are out of the Corrimal Cup with Premier League teams, the only sides to survive the qualifying rounds. Shell Harbour City was the closest non-Premier League club not to make it through. After thrashing Fernhill 5-1, it missed out on goal difference.
When Paul Keating lobbed the Fernhill defence, Glenn Dorian put City well ahead with his side's 4th goal. Soon after, Keating scored his 2nd and City's 5th after a Jason Pendlebury through ball. With only one team progressing in its group, City needed to net once more to progress past White Eagles. Ben Hardcastle came close from a cross and then even closer from a corner. The 5-1 win was not enough to get the First Division team through to the quarter-finals, which will be an all-Premier League affair this weekend. Soccer skills came into play in Illawarra cricket, but it was with the bat that Northern District's opener Andrew Johnson made the ball fly. Johnson ended with 42 not out, and despite an early scare against partner Steve Hayden, the pair guided the Butchers home to a crucial win over Kira. With Dapto losing to Uni, Northern Spirit sits 5th. The bookends, Wests and Helensburgh did battle, with West winning easy to continue its runaway lead. Jason Neuenhoff, Winsport.
Illawarra Turf Club officials have met with trainers to discuss improvements at Kembla Grange. The focus is the installation of a new sand surface.
The Illawarra Turf Club voiced its plans, telling trainers how the Cinders track will be moved and replaced by a new sand surface. It comes after improvements to the B-grass track and is part of a $1 million upgrade, most of the funds coming from the now disbanded Racecourse Development Fund.
We've got a fairly large equestrian estate out the back there, which is probably not fully utilised at the present time. We would like to think that this maintenance and this upgrading will allow that to be fully filled and to increase the number of horses being trained on the premises.
The construction will inconvenience present trainers. Today's meeting asking for their cooperation.
Just having a sand track, it makes your options so much better. You know, as we've had bad weather here in the last week. With the sand track, you can still do fast work on it. I've stayed at Caulfield and Flemington for a while, and their tracks, they can do plenty of work.
This could be a really good training area. I mean, it's terrible to see that estate over there. You know, there's more show horses than race horses at the moment.
Major works will start a day after the club's 2-year-old classic on March 17. Completion expected 8 weeks later. There are also plans to upgrade the computerised irrigation system, buy new starting stalls, install a service road and light the training area.
I believe the club will follow on with further improvement, and I can only just see it improving all the time.
Matt Russell, Winsport.
And disappointment for Wolves midfielder Paul Reed, who has missed a spot in the Australian under-20 team for next month's World Youth Championship, but he's one of 12 players that they've placed on standby. And for tonight, that is sport, Mary.
Thanks, Jeffrey. After the break, weather details with Nathan Wood, then taking time out to relieve office tension.
Good evening. Yes, always threatening but never quite delivering today, and unsettled with showers looks to be the story for the rest of the week. Let's have a look at our new satellite weather photograph, and a massive cloud dominates the eastern half of the continent tonight. Tomorrow, a low in the Tasman and a low pressure trough over western New South Wales will produce showers and storms with heavy falls there on the coast. Warm, humid and showery on the coast again Thursday, with little change in the weather pattern, producing further isolated showers and storms for Friday. Now, of course, plenty more rain overnight. Jervis Bay recorded 34 millimetres, Maria Heads 32, Wollongong 21 millimetres and Ulladulla 17. Looking at today's temperatures, Wollongong 19 up to 25 degrees, just 21 at Barrel, and Nowra also a top of 25, as was Ulladulla. Batemans Bay 19 to 25, Maria Heads 24 after 19 overnight, 25s there for Narooma and Bega, and Merimbula 23. The forecast now for the Illawarra and Highlands, mild to warm and humid with some moderate to heavy showers at times. So this is the story for the next few days. Tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, some quite heavy showers at times. The forecast for the south coast, again sticky with a few showers about. On the waters, seas and swell around 1 to 2 metres. The first tide tomorrow, that's a low at 3:44 a.m, then a high around about 10. Tomorrow's temperatures, Wollongong 18 to 24, the same for Nowra, Barrel 15 to 22, 23 for Batemans Bay, and Bega 24 degrees. So after a damper than average summer, it looks like more of the same for autumn. Mary?
Thanks, Nathan. Stressed out business people throughout the region are being urged to make time for 15 minutes of bliss.
You can't sleep, your alarm doesn't go off, the coffee's run out, you've got nothing to wear and you're desperately late for work. Sound familiar? Stress. It means different things to different people.
The government stresses me out.
Tight deadlines and having to manage work, that kind of thing.
I'm 6 months pregnant, so I'm finding that lying down to go to bed at night, I'm not actually sleeping as well as I normally do.
Today, members of Illawarra's Division of General Practice attempted to forget their worries during a 15-minute corporate massage.
This routine especially reduces stress by working on trigger points. It's very oriental based.
Feel the muscles sort of loosening up and feel refreshed.
I'm finding pains that I haven't had before.
Faced with a rise in stress leave and work-related injuries like RSI, massage therapists say more and more companies are turning to them for relief at the workplace. As part of the Illawarra Target 2000 Lifestyle Challenge, they're urging employers to invest in the health of their workers.
We work through their tea breaks. It only takes 15 minutes, obviously, so it doesn't take much time at all.
Rachel Lee Walden, Win News.
Sounds terrific. That's our bulletin for this evening. I'm Mary Franks. Good night.